Welcome, welcome, beautiful women. My name is Stephanie Dawn, and I am thrilled to welcome you to the second Nourish Women Now. We started this back in March, just a month ago, and we're going to be going every month, actually, for all of 2022, because I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to help women nourish their bodies. So thank you for joining me tonight. I am joined by my colleague and beloved friend, Carmela Velarde, and she's going to be sharing momentarily. But before we dive into the content, I just wanted to share a couple things with you. The first is just something that just bubbled forth as I was imagining being here with you all tonight. And it's just a quote that came forth through me. The well-nourished woman loves herself completely so she can give to others deeply. So many of us give from the well that is empty, not from the well that overflows. How do I know this? I did it. I did that for many, many, many years. So welcome. If you are a birth professional, if you're a midwife or a doula, you're in the right place. If you're a woman who serves other women in the birthing field and beyond, you're in the right place. If you're a leader in women's health in any capacity, you're absolutely in the right place. If you're a mom needing nutritional support, we are so glad that you're here. And I wanted to share with you, before I talk about my story, I want to talk about the inspiration of how it was that I created this event here, Nourish Women Now. So approximately a year ago, I met a woman named Hannah Bujea, and she's a young mom living on the island of Maui. And Hannah was suffering from postpartum psychosis for 3 years. And as I listened to her last spring share her story about her experience of living through psychotic episodes where she wanted to harm herself and harm her baby, I was absolutely jaw-dropped. I was shocked that in this day and age, a woman could be experiencing that and not get the help that she needed 3 years in. So I was really grateful to hear, as she was sharing her story, that her sister connected with a colleague of mine, Rachel Balansat, and it supported her to get the nutrition that she needed. She was severely depleted. And after I heard Hannah's story several times, then I actually said, Rachel, I need to meet her. That conversation was full of tears with, coming from Hannah and coming from me. And I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to elevate her voice. And so I did. I created an event within my superfoods company all about postpartum depletion, depression, and psychosis. If I'd been working in the birth world for almost 20 years and I didn't know that women in the United States were experiencing this, how many other women are either A, don't know what that is, or B, don't know what to do about it in order to help themselves, right? So I elevated her story. And then in February of this year, I received a message from Spirit because I talked to God a little bit. I'm a God girl. For those of you that know me, you know that about me. I'm the founder of Sacred Birth Work, and I've worked with women in the birthing field, birth professionals, for a very, very long time. And I received the message that I needed to be bringing what it is that I've learned over the last 6 years of mitigating my own health journey to the women in the world that I know, my birth colleagues. And so I created this event with you in mind to support you in potentially elevating what it is that you know and how it is that you can help the women in your care, but also potentially how you can be helping yourself, bringing care to the caregivers. So that's the interest of tonight's gathering. I'm so grateful that you're here. I would like to share just a little bit with you about my story and why it is that I, realized that myself really in a nutritional quagmire. So about 6 years ago, I was a total hot mess. I was perimenopausal. I was mitigating candida, frozen shoulder, 50 pounds overweight, 10 years postpartum. I did not have a GP that I was working with because she'd left Los Angeles, and I didn't have a nutritionist or a naturopath, and I did not know what to do. And a colleague of mine, my own client, because I was working as a business coach for women entrepreneurs, birth professionals 6 years ago, she said, Steph, I did this cleanse. Would you like more information? I was coming up on my 50th birthday, and I was like, absolutely. I do want to. If you could mute, I'd really appreciate it, you guys. I'm trying to mute people and talk at the same time. Thanks. So I she said, I just did this cleanse and it was really great stuff. And I said, yeah, I really do. Like, prior to, how the pain pushes until the vision pulls. Well, I had been in pain and I didn't know what to do. I did not know how to help myself. And so I saw Loie Medvin, actually Janine Parvati Baker's daughter, for those of you who know Janine Parvati. She really, she was the one that connected me to these nutritional protocols. And I'm forever grateful to you, Loie, if this ever reaches your ears, that you connected me to this company and to these protocols that have ultimately completely changed my life. I've been dealing with heavy metal toxicity. Those of you who know me well know that I've been working to heal the appearance of cancer in my body. I've absolutely lost those 50 pounds that I was dealing with after, 10 years postpartum. And here we are. I'm here to sort of pass on the baton to those of you, to share what it is that I know, in the hopes that you can take this for yourself and potentially weave it into your practices to be supporting the women that you're here to serve. All right. And we're going to be talking about that a bit more towards the end. But before we go there, I'd like to introduce my amazing colleague, Carmela Velarde. She is a mom of two. She sits with me on the chair of, she sits with me on the Million Mom Movement Council. I am still letting people into this, my goodness. And she's just a wonderful mom and a wonderful woman with a background in Reiki and yoga. And she has her own postpartum story. And I'd love for you, Carm, to share that if you would. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight.
My absolute pleasure. This is our second round of our series of Nourish Women Now. I'm so honored.
Yes, my love.
Here. Yeah. Can you hear live when you come on? That would be wonderful. I don't have host capability. I think Erica has it on. Okay, so why I'm so drawn to this topic today and really through this series, because I have been a holistic health counselor now for 22 years. I've been working as a bodywork professional, but prior to that, I was an artist and performer, and I knew the importance of finding your voice and your self-expression. And honestly, as I was growing up as a child, that was my freedom. That was my healing tool, was my physical expression in my body through dance, through voice. And I really healed my body that way. But as I grew older, and as you all know, stress overloads, and we can't always play with the body and just be as physically in our body. But I definitely did try that. So I went into psychology in college, and then it went to body work, and then went into acupuncture and herbology. So I was always trying to figure out really this immense spaceship that we have to navigate through our lives daily. And there's so many things, cofactors to why people lead into disharmony. And I was fascinated by it. I was fascinated by my own disharmonies. I've had leaky gut since I was a small child, since I was, I think, 3 years old. I was always severely depleted with nutrition, always. And it really wreaked havoc on my immune system. I was always sick. And really nutrition was the one thing that I knew, and movement and breath work that I leaned on, and it helped. So as I grew older, I just had to increase that and really understand the body more. And that's when I was able to give back. So I opened up a wellness center with my mother. We had that in New York City. I actually see someone here that used to teach in my studio. So I'm really excited to have her on here. And she's also, she works with women, but I focused on working with women with full moon fire ceremonies, working with the moon cycle with women. I loved helping women to really understand the natural cycles with also Chinese medicine and the moon cycles, and create ceremony around and sacredness around life. And when I had my two children, this is when I found this organic superfood movement. And I was searching everywhere, and I had my own center. I had a little juice bar and everything, and was constantly doing cleanses that were just not sustainable. I couldn't live on it, daily detoxifying the way these cleanses really supported you. They were great. They were fantastic while they lasted, but then you can't live on it. So when I had found this movement, I was like, wow, this is something that I could literally, it can sustain my energy, my lifestyle as a mother, where it was convenient. And it did. That's what it did. It completely turned around my mindset of nourishment. And I love food. I just love food. I love taking care of myself. I love, but when you're a mom and you have your own business and you're entrepreneurial, who has time? But I remember those moments, and I don't know if you guys can relate, but I would just like daydream about those days when I used to nourish myself really, really well in my early 20s. And I had the time to do so. And I was shining, glowing, healthy than ever. And I'm a mom now. And I think, oh, I wish I had more hours in the day. Now I have the wisdom, but I wish I could apply it more. And so we're here to support you today, tonight, at whatever time you're listening to this, to really give you the tools, the tips, some inspiration through the stories and through our experiences of turning our disharmonies around, really through supporting each other through this beautiful community that I have found Stephanie within. And then really giving you tools as a lifestyle. So postpartum, if I didn't have these tools, I don't know who I would be. I would be less than me. And it's not good enough for my family, right? My family's everything, literally. Like, if I think about them in just a second, I'll cry. My heart is so blessed, wide open to support them. Whatever I can do on this planet to support and leave a good legacy for my family, that's what I'm here to do. So I know a lot of you are here taking the time to do that too. So thank you so much for your time. And I pass the mic on to Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Carmela. I'm learning Zoom as we go here, and I've been on Zoom for many years. So thanks everyone who's giving me coaching in the chat. Oh my goodness. Here's what I know, ladies, as I'm feeling into your power here, all 33 of us. When women circle up, magic is possible. Okay. We come into our power when we come together. Okay. This is what I know as someone who's been a part of women's circles for so many years, from my mid 20s until now, my late 50s. Thank you, Carm. I'm so happy to be on this path with you and to be, walking this sacred walk, to be honest with you, Carmela. I'm about 3 years ago, I was appointed to be the chair of the Million Mom Movement, which is the activist arm within our superfoods company. And I got to meet up with Carmela Velarde, and it is just such an honor to be doing this work with you, Carmela. Here is another goddess that I'm so excited to introduce you to. This is someone that I knew before I ever found our superfoods company. We met through my sacred birth work, through my Sacred Birth Mentor program. She is a mother of two. She is a former doula. That's what she was doing back when I met her. And she's currently come back into the fold as a midwife's assistant, which I'm excited to hear that. She is a passionate stand for children and women's health, like me. And she's also an excellent prenatal Kundalini yoga instructor in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Without further ado, Ms. Celeste McNeil, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with us tonight.
It is such an absolute honor. Thank you, Carmela, for sharing your story, and Stephanie for hosting, for your big vision. But most importantly, thank you for sharing Purium with me. This organic fast food is what I've come to call it, this lifestyle. I am one of those who was raised in a natural health philosophy, if you will, chiropractic, massage therapy. I have many vivid memories of my mom, like coming home and just fragrant home cooked meals, right? Vitamins all the time. I was also very cocky when Stephanie first introduced this to me. I was like, I am healthy. I eat organic. I work at Whole Foods. I don't need an upgrade. I'm doing fine. I was also pregnant with my second child, just as you were really starting to share this with me. And so 18 months go by. And I am just like, okay, well, brain fog comes with motherhood, taking naps, being completely exhausted. That's just what we do. But I was getting to the point where I had refined this art of burning water. I would literally start oatmeal and just space out, and then come back and the pan is black. So I was like, okay, something is a little off. And so there's another piece to my story that I do want to share. Being at Whole Foods for 13 years, Amazon bought them. I was using Garden of Life protein powder. Nestle bought them. I started to see the writing on the wall that our food supply is very much being purchased by big corporations. And for me, I vote with my dollar. That was not cool. So that's when I was like, all right, Steph, I'm ready. Let's try this. I am here to say within 48 hours of having this nutrition in my body, it was like the lights came on and I had no clue they were off. They were dim, people. They were dimmed down. So that is what started my journey of locking arms with this mission. And I like to think of us as a grassroots mission, really. And what it has allowed me to do is not only, I was taking naps every day. And like I said, I mean, that's just what we do, be exhausted in motherhood. But it went to the point where I was like, oh, I wish I could take a nap. I have so much energy now. I actually can't take a nap. I don't want to. So I'm going to just pause and take a deep breath and say the deeper blessing that locking arms fully did for me was that it allowed me to wake up every morning and cuddle with my children. Because the first time I went to Whole Foods after I had my children, it was like ripping my soul out to go punch a clock, even though my son was with my husband. It was like, this is wrong. My son is like 8 weeks and I'm going back to it just like did not sit well with me. And so that is the deeper lifestyle that we're living, right? Is that we can nourish ourselves and we can also lock arms with a community that supports one another, and that we can have financial security and abundance, which quite honestly, we all need as women. Like, think of all the women that are lacking choices, and it comes down to finances and resources. So there's deep passion in here on lots of levels. I'm forever eternally grateful for you sharing this with me, Stephanie, and it has literally changed my world. And to have the organic fast food for children, I have a picky 7-year-old. Like, I'm talking broccoli is the one thing that he will eat that's like, I mean, of course, salmon and things, but he is very, very hard to get. So now I can like sneak the nutrients in. I can very easily and accessibly just like check off that mark in my mother's brain. Okay, we know that he's getting nourishment, even though he's not eating it. I'm sneaking it in all the ways that we have access to. So I think feel free to ask me a question, Steph, but that's just like what's coming through right now is just deep gratitude for what we have, for what we do in the community. And quite honestly, the families that we're going to help, because that saying, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. And it's true. It's so true. So we have a rippling effect. And the last thing I'll say is I'm really passionate right now about epigenetics. It's kind of having a birth of nutrogenomics. And so in my yogic philosophy, what the child learns in the womb cannot be taught on earth. And what we now know is like I have a book sitting right here from the library. We are what our grandparents ate. The soil inside the woman's womb as she is creating life, the seed from the partner, like being rich in nutrition, like all of it is creating our next generation of, you can say it, light warriors, like whoever, however you want to call what's coming in. But it's exciting that we have access to tools to help up level on that level for me. That's what I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Celeste. So beautiful. So glad you could make it here tonight. And yes, I'm so glad you said yes too. And sometimes the no is the first response, right? But here's where I'm at now. I'm not taking no for an answer. Just not with what I know now. Not with the transformations that I witness day in and day out, year in and year out for the past 6 years. The wool's been pulled over our eyes, ladies, in terms of how nutrition, how whole food, food, nutrient dense, whole food and superfoods can support us. And so in very, very serious diagnoses. So, thank you so much for being with us here tonight, Celeste. And I'm just so grateful to know you and to be walking this path with you too, my dear. All right. I'm going to pass the baton back to Carm because Carmela has another guest that she's going to introduce. And then after that, we're going to talk a bit more about the business. So thanks, Carm. Back to you.
Thank you. And Celeste, I didn't realize you were also a Kundalini prenatal yoga teacher, as I am as well. So that's my history. I had certified when I was pregnant with my first, and it gave me the tools to really understand how to take care of myself and my second child when I had it prenatally. And I serve women, specifically prenatal and postpartum. And I love it. It's my heart. So now I get to share with a new woman here a story for you in the community. Her name is Tina Mahako, and she is a holistic practitioner of now a little over 10 years. She has a wonderful story. I cannot wait for you to hear it. It really touched me, how she came to this movement, and she was really called by this movement to work with women specifically. And then she has a private office and practice in Connecticut Hospital. So she is in an integrative, alternative integrative space, but she's in an allopathic facility. So it's a really, it's an honor to work with her. She is so passionate and dedicated and driven to work with her clients and really just show up for all of us in our team and our community. And Tina.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Nice to be here. Nice to meet everybody. And yeah, so
I'd love for you to share your story. She's a mom of older boys,
yeah.
30 plus.
We're men. So yes, let me give you a quick briefing. So I am a mom of twin boys who are men now at the age of 35. I was a nurse in the 90s, and I was taking care of the boys alone, a single mom. And the nursing was tough. So I am currently now, I'll get to that story too quick, but I'll give you a quick overview on what I do now. So currently I'm working in a hospital, as Carmela said, for 10 years now in Connecticut, Yale Waterbury campus, as a holistic practitioner, manual lymph drain specialist, and therapeutic body worker. So I have sessions also with primarily women's health, and I have a talk session and then therapy hands-on. So I also speak with different various women's groups, and I hold those same sessions as well in Shelton. I was formerly in Westport, so I'm kind of all over. But you can reach me. My business is called Natural Therapies for Women's Health, and you can email me at naturaltherapiestmm@gmail.com. if you have any questions. So I'm going to give you my story too, that what led me to the passion and the drive to further help women and their spouses and whoever is partners with them, maybe a husband, maybe a brother, whoever. And I will coach everybody together as a family. So I was a young teen at like between 12 and 13, and my father had cancer. My mother worked nights, and he had lung cancer, and he was young. And I was left somehow responsible to care for him. So here I am. And he passed after a year and a half of me caring for him. And after he died, he passed away, I was still left alone at night. So I'm like, okay, I literally stopped eating. So it took a while and I lost weight. I ended up in the hospital 2 times up to the age of in my mid 30s. So it happened when I was a teen and back again. And I thought that was the way I was supposed to handle things. So apparently we have this thing where as a kid, that's what you can control in your life, how much you're eating, where other things around you're unable to control. So the other things around you can control what you eat, how much or how little, what you eat. So I figured that out and I carried that with me. So I'm in the hospital twice. I come out, I still have 2 little babies to take care of. So I searched all over. I said, look, I have to get on something healthy. I had no nutrients. I ended up with pneumonia. I also have an autoimmune disease, which is also very common in women. And so I looked all over. I says, okay, I'll do vegan. I went vegan. And and with 2 little boys, they weren't getting the nutrients they needed, and I wasn't because I didn't do it properly. I searched all over and I bought products all over. I spent a lot of money and none of them were balanced. So with that said, we need balance in our diet and in our mind. And when people tell me, I'm not ready to do this, I don't want to diet, it's a big change for a lot of people, and people go back and forth. I get that. I do get that. And I'm sure a lot of people do. When we get off, we go back on. But how do we stay back on? There's a group here, you guys, Carmela, who are very, very supportive. And I just had somebody message me saying, I need your support after a year of following. Don't be afraid to ask for support. This is such a loving, energetic, supportive group on many levels. So with that said, I looked all over. I found Purium, thank God. And I didn't know what I was missing till I took it. It took me 3 times on the detox to say, wow, I really feel good. You don't really know how good you feel until you're actually doing this for a length of time. Then you say, I see the difference now. I'm healthy. I'm more energetic. My skin looks good. My numbers are good on the panel of blood. So I'm very grateful, and I wanted to add this to my business, my practice, as an organic superfood, healthy lifestyle for my patient and clients. And I also want to offer them, I combined the health and wealth combination of that you can do this, you can eat healthy, and you could also benefit wealthy from this too. So that's where I am with that. And if I could help anybody, I am so grateful. And I'm grateful for you, Carmela, too. Thank you. So that's my story. If anyone has any kind of questions, or Carmela, any additives to this?
No, I appreciate your transparency and taking us through your journey from, all the way from your teenhood and how your family had affected your eating disorder at that time. And then all up into really being a single mom to twin boys. I just felt what you went through in that short time you're sharing your story, and all the things your body must have been going through, and your mind, the mind body connection.
Right.
So many women have so many stories within them that are quietly suffering, and we want to bring them home to a space where community is powerful. It is a tool that we need. It's underutilized. And really the community, how I found you, Tina, how I found Stephanie, and how I found the Million Mom movement, like it changed my life. And I want it to change many, many, many more that we know are out there that have
Right.
amazing stories.
Yeah, I definitely don't want anybody to ever feel like they are struggling and that they're the only one at any age, because at different phases of our life, and that's what I can attest to too, now taking care of parents, there's a whole nother spectrum of support that I need now. So at any age, a mom, a woman, speak out. There is help, there is support, and I do love Miriam, though. I do. So if I could help anybody, just reach out to me.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you for being here, Tina, for sharing your
Thank
heart.
you. Thank you.
Beautiful, Tina. Wow. Thank you so much. You're obviously clearly a servant leader, which is really, one of the reasons why I love this company so much, is because that's how the founder refers to us, as servant leaders. And when I first went to their convention 6 years ago, that's how the founder of the company referred to all of us. And I was like, oh, he's talking to me. I totally identified. So I want to pivot now. I want to talk about the business. And this is a subject that I care about deeply. Those of you who do know me, you know that I was a business coach for many, many years. Some of you I've even coached that are here on this call tonight. And I loved that work so much. It gave me so much satisfaction to help women really birth their sacred medicine into the world and double and triple their income. That's the work that I was able to do for many, many years as a business coach, as I morphed out of the sacred birth work and more into business coaching. And so I really wasn't looking for another stream of income 6 years ago. I just wanted to be healthy. But what I couldn't deny was how it was that my body was transforming. I was transforming. And I'm like, I can't keep quiet about this. Like, I need to help the people that that are in my circles to support themselves, And so little by little, I just started sharing, and little by little, the money started coming in. I'm like, oh, well, this is kind of nice. I was like, wonder what's possible if I took this seriously. And so over a period of the next couple of months, I did go to the company's convention, and I really felt into like, who is this attracting? Who is this company? Is it as good as it seems? And all of my boxes were checked, basically. I felt like the founders really reflected my own heart. I've been a nonviolent, civil disobedient, direct action, environmental, social justice activist for over 30 years. I've been a birth activist for almost 20 years. And now I speak very openly and forthrightly about the cancer cartel, the allopathic cartel that we all seem to be facing everywhere we turn these days. And so for me, what we have here is an incredible opportunity for people to really become their own doctors and help themselves with food. It's very basic, it's very foundational, and it's very simple for you to weave into your bag of tricks, I like to say, in the offerings that you're already doing. If you're already helping women, this can be woven in such an elegant and gorgeous way so that you can be creating, like I, now coach my team to create multiple streams of income. We all need those now in these incredibly uncertain times where the economic landscape is shifting. Having multiple streams of income is really, really important. And so you can be bringing this into your practice, into the services that you offer. to your clientele, and they're already looking to you as a person of influence. So if you're having a great experience personally, if you just want to come on as a customer and then upgrade later, you can do that. Like, you do not have to come in and just say, yeah, I want to do the business stuff, or whoever invited you here. You can come on just as a customer and try it out and see how you feel. We want you to be happy. Purium wants you to be happy, but we really do. The ones who are the brand ambassadors for Purium, we want you to be really happy. This is really, really, really important. And so this is part of what I love about this this business model, is not only the residual income part, which is really freaking amazing, and I can say more about that in a moment, but you're coming into a community of health warriors. You're coming into a community that is, potent with the Million Mom movement, and the council and the field of the Million Mom movement community that is here to support you, like 100%. We meet up every single Friday at 11 a.m. to connect and educate and inspire. And if you're curious about what we're doing, what we're putting out as the Million Mom Movement Council, just go to our YouTube channel and check us out. Because I was just sharing with a colleague of ours today, Carmela, I am so incredibly proud of what we're achieving as the Million Mom Movement Council. And so, yeah, it's good. It's really good. Nutrition is changing lives. And so this is what I want for my colleagues who are looking for another, either a health upgrade or another stream of income. So I just want to also say, and then I'm going to pass it back to Carm for her business story. When I received the breast cancer diagnosis 3 years ago, and, I've got my doctor doesn't find any more cancer in my body, just as to give you a little health update, and no further metastasis. So I'm doing really great, you guys, really great. And I'm so happy to be able to say that. But when I got that cancer diagnosis, I stopped everything. I stopped the business coaching and I stopped working Purium part-time. And I just let it all go to focus on healing my body. And, as a business coach in the dollars for hours paradigm, bye-bye coaching clients, bye-bye income. And I was making great money. But here's what didn't stop. And that was my Purium income. And I am and was then forever grateful for that ongoing monthly, weekly, actually, because we get paid 5 times a month, that income that just kept coming in for 6 months while I was away healing my body and looking after myself and moving to a new state. So this, these protocols can change lives. This wealth opportunity can change lives. And if you're not interested in being in the on-call world forever, if you're already feeling burnt out and you're looking for another way to elevate your income or create an exit strategy, look no further. I'll just speak for myself. So if you've been invited to this event by myself or someone on my team, I have the blessing of having been a business coach and really helping my team to weave this into their offerings so it feels congruent in a beautiful way. And it's something that I love. It's my sacred medicine, to be honest, is to help you do this in a way that feels really wonderful and congruent for you. So that's really all I want to say about my business story. This is my number one source of income now, and I have a very huge team. And Lord knows that we need more of you to be joining us. So Carm, would love to hear your story and how it is that Purium has really been benefiting you and your family.
I'm always inspired by your story, Stephanie, because like you, I was very in awe of what I witnessed at first, and I just went all in. I too am an activist. I'm irate with the atrocities of toxicities that are allowable in our food and water system. It's just all over. And to us in the Million Mom movement, as moms, I found that when I first came into this company, everyone who was my upline support, they were all moms and they were rocking their business. I'm talking 10 to 20,000 monthly. And I said, I could do that. I had a brick and mortar company. And I was a slave to my business, I tell you, 7 days a week. And sometimes when it's sadhana, you wake up at 4, you close the gates at 9. It's a long day for a wellness practitioner, as somebody who's promoting health, and then you're really working yourself to the wire. It didn't jive with me. It didn't align. And although I was really serving, but I wasn't also serving myself. Like, I didn't make the choices. I didn't get to have those boundaries. And so what I'd found, having a brick and mortar, and then also then being a private practitioner, being an independent contractor, I was always trading hours for dollars. And as I had my second child, I said, no, I deserve more. I want more. There's more out there. How do I get it? And so I knew, as a financial, advised person, 6 streams of income would be ideal. 6 streams. So I was like, okay, I have a number of them already lined up, some investments, some stocks, some other streams like my music, art, different things. But nutrition, everybody eats. And if I speak to people, I will talk to them, and everyone's my client. I'm game. And so that's what I said. I was like, wow, this is the most pure nutrition that exists on the planet. Okay, what sets this apart from this? I have to know 100% what that answer is, and that's my sell. It's facts tell, but the stories are what sells. That's why we're here. We're here to tell you that we've seen hundreds and hundreds. I, just like Stephanie, at the same rank in our company, we've grown a team. We lead leaders, we coach coaches. I'm at a stage where I just want to be a business coach. I want to coach the Tinas out there who are hungry, looking for an income to expand their business already, that they're so passionately giving back to their clients. Well, here's another income stream. I want to work with them. And honestly, I feel that I want to serve those who are already serving because it's built in, right? And they're out there. We're all looking for another way to serve. And food is the best way, I tell you, because they finish the superfoods and they want more. It's literally medicine that you eat, and you need replenishment of it. It's not like an oil or a soap or something like this. This is the most essential good that 3 times a day, at minimum, people are putting in their mouth, making decisions and voting with their dollars for companies like what Celeste was saying, Garden of Life and is owned by Nestle. I formerly was with a network marketing company that aligned with Pepsi, and I was not for it. I said, oh my goodness, I can't do this. No, because my economic sovereignty is important to me. How I use and expend my energy, my value, and myself with my time has to really feel good with how I'm abundant. And I want everybody to take a look at that in your life. Like, are you comfortable with how you're earning your money and where that money is coming from? And is your time for dollars feeling like a good balance for how you're spending your time? And I want to ask also all of you, are you aware? Are you reading your labels where you're spending your money? Because often people are not reading their labels. They do not know where the manufacturing is coming from. And when it comes to food, that's the number one medicine that all of us as parents and caregivers and moms, we have to know. We're voting, we're choosing. That's the activism stance too. So economically, we have to be sacred. With our food, we have to be sacred. With our time, we have to be sacred. With this community, you can choose to do all of that and lead people into the positive direction with the business that aligns all 3. And we can serve families. And this is what we're really positioned here in Nourish Women Now to do. And I think that more people who just hear what we have, they'll align. They just have to understand. So we invite you to invite others. My business story, I really followed my leaders. I didn't know how to do this business. I was doing a business a different way and earning money. But what I said, I was completely coachable. I said, whatever I need to do, I'm here. I can do it. If you can do it, I can do it. And then just trust the process. There's systems in place to help you succeed. Do not create a new way. Do not put your ego first. There's no ego in team. You've got to take that out. And when you do, amazing things happen. So just trust that when you're with a team, your leader has your best interest. When you butt heads and there's the ego there, problems happen. So we just want to keep business sacred, along with the medicine, along with the education that Dave Sandoval and Amy Benner have so beautifully, succinctly created for us all. And yeah, I'm shooting to crown myself, which is one of the top ranks. And I believe that's what my family deserves: time freedom, location freedom, and sovereignty from the system that is burdening us all with wrong medicine, wrong education. I think it's time for us to take it back. The ones who are in the know need to take back the light. And with that, I'm complete.
Preach, girl. You got me, clapping over here, woman. So health sovereignty, financial sovereignty, these are really important themes to me, and you just touched on them so beautifully, Carmela. So I'm not going to go much more into it all. Here's what I want to say to you, ladies, in closing. If you are leaning in even just a wee bit, if you are feeling a resonant yes in your heart, like, maybe there is something here for me, maybe this community is more than I thought it was, then we want to talk with you. We cannot move this movement of the Million Mom movement forward without you. All right. The Million Mom movement is 1,000 women and men and, concerned caregivers in over 100 cities, reaching out to 10 families to help them turn their pantries clean, green, non-GMO. And so if you work with women, you are, it's a no-brainer, really. You have an opportunity to really be helping women to a larger degree than what you're already doing. So thank you so much for giving us 50 minutes of your time. We are going to be coming back together next month, May 24th, with some more stories for you. So if you see yourself joining us, then you can just keep inviting to these gatherings that we're going to be doing monthly. Thank you so much, Carmela. I love you. Thank you to our guests, Celeste and Tina. Many blessings to you all. Reach out to the person that invited you to be here, and we will help get you started. All right. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.